Can you take me back to when you guys first get with Def Jam? You guys are doing something that nobody had really done before on that level in terms of the subject matter and the content that was.
We was Kev. It's just because we were older. That's all.
But I'm saying like was there, because these days it feels like if you talk about certain shit, there's an uphill challenge in terms of whether or not, like, maybe the label will be like, hey, maybe you should tone this down. Maybe did you guys deal with any of that?
No, not at all. We never dealt with racism coming at us. We never dealt with somebody telling us what to do. Rick Rubin begged me kind of and asked me to do records for 2 years. So once I agreed, it's a different understanding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would turn down calls from Rick Rubin in my house. Like, I don't want to do records. We wanted to do radio. So I'm automatically, my first day, it was not a jubilation, it was surrender. Right. We couldn't do the radio dreams. But, fast forward, I have Rap Station, which is 12-station app. And apps are hard to make.
They are.
And I got to bring
They're
the
not
noise
cheap
app.
either.
No, not cheap to eat and not easy to make. Because you have the world of glitches and you got the realm of security. So we built Rap Station, which is 12-station channels, all with rap music and hip hop, dedicated for 16 years now. But the app has been built for 5, and then to Bring the Noise app, which is really the trendsetter there.
Dude, I always wonder, like, when you have like you have a couple of the greatest hip hop albums of all time and under your belt, like when you guys are getting ready to release It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, do you guys understand like how fucking good it is and like how it might change everything?
Yeah, I have interviews that say I'm making the what's going on of rap music months before we put it.
Right. So you guys,
but you know what it is, Kev. It was already a leaning tree. I'm 10 years older. I didn't studied everything in it. I knew what was coming out. We were really the beginning of the album-oriented, rap artists where it was still a singles medium.
Yeah, there were still singles, vinyls getting released. Yeah,
and and we knew everything from Iron Maiden to Marvin Gaye, right. So we knew how to make an album. So trust me, I'm coming off my first tour year in '87. So by the time we get back in the lab, I know exactly what to make. Number one, make it faster. Because on stage, when you're going, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be amped up to do a song faster than what that recording would be.
Right.
So I say, all right, let's make the recordings faster. So we was at least 10 beats per minute faster than anybody else. Why I say beats per minute was important? Because that's DJ culture.
That's DJ shit for sure.
Yeah. And the average person doesn't go by like, this needs to be 5 beats per minute faster, right, and amp up like this.
You guys were conscientious, like, hey, we're gonna speed our shit up. Like everybody else is here, we're here.
Yeah, because the difference is like, how do you make your stuff different from the next person?
Right.
Faster, louder. Well, if everybody could reach up and be louder at the same time, more than one vocalist, so our whole thing was to stand out. Because you ain't had radio. You ain't have a lot of people like, all right, yeah, we're going to make sure we finance this thing forward. No, it had to stand on its own 2 feet.
You guys also were very instrumental in lending an olive branch to Cube once he left NWA.
Yeah. 1990, America's Most Wanted. We toured together 80, 87, 88, and 89. And, so that's where the friendship started.
Yeah, and then obviously he comes, the Bomb Squad takes the realm of his first solo album, which was a 5-mic album.
Yeah, he wanted to actually get Dre and Easy to do it, but the situation with Priority at the same time, he had to wait for a year and a half. But back in those days, you wait for a year and a half, and it's another world.
Cooked. Yeah, it's a whole other world. Yeah.
So, he came to me and wanted to do, us to do it. But no, really, he came to me to see what can happen if he came east. And I tried to unite him with Sam Sever and other people like that.
Was Burn Hollywood Burn, was that like made in that same...
Yeah, okay. Same area.
But you were like, yo, we're going to take this one for us.
And that was, no. Burn Hollywood Burn was, me and Kane already was going to do it. Mm-hmm. And Cube had just come out try to look for a studio, try to look for producers or whatever on his project. And he was in the studio at the same time. So when me and Kane was talking about, Cube was like on the couch, said, yo, I want to be on that.
Yeah.
And we both looked at him like, yeah, why not, right? And that's how it started. The most difficult thing, Kev, at that time is could you get 3 different record labels to agree on it?
Oh, yeah.
Back then, you had segregation.
Right.
You couldn't, no, we don't want them on that label, or we don't want that song over there. So I had to do a lot of, I had to do a lot of godfathering at that time to make that happen.
That's crazy. Yeah, and it's so crazy too, because if you think about like how the Bomb Squad was able to somehow like revolutionize West Coast hip hop in like a way that like I don't know if they get the credit for. Like when you listen to that first Cube album,
we got our credit for it. But the whole thing is like this: is like do the thing and let everybody fly with their own wings. The Bomb Squad never did the same thing twice,
right?
And we never did 2 albums in a row on anybody. Once we do you get it, boom, you fly. Like Cube, my favorite Cube album is Kill at Will. The next thing he did after,
so good.
Yeah, so
one of my favorite covers of all time too. That cover's so fire.
Yeah, because he got it. Once we're there to be like an incubation lab, and once you get it.
Killer Will didn't that have Jackin' for Beats on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, beat changes and all that under it.
You know what's crazy? I always think when I will listen to Jackin' for Beats, what you said about the labels, I always think back then like, how did it clear all these beats? Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it was a mixtape. Like there wasn't the internet where you could just drop a freestyle on YouTube. Like he had to put that out.
Well, if anybody could clear anything from independent and labels at that particular time, it would be Brian Turner. Because Brian Turner also released all the Rap Masters compilation tapes.
Yeah, I remember those.
And that took a little bit of clearance to try to get.
Because back then there was a lot of compilations that you might go to a gas station and there'd be like a rack of tapes, and you'd be like, yo, let me grab this.
But the swap meet, the LA, Dre was making those swap meet tapes in 87, 86, and 88. It's the only place where you could find songs because they wasn't on cassette yet. It was, back then, hip hop was a singles market. They did not, you know what I'm saying? It was singles, it wasn't albums. But, if they released the 12-inch, the average person, be like, I ain't got no record player, I got a box. I'm going to play cassettes. The record labels didn't figure that out. So the swap meet DJs were the first one. I remember coming out and we play in San Diego. They got a swap meet, outside in the parking lot. And sure enough, got racks of, tapes. I still got those tapes to this day, man. And they would have all the hits on it. And that was it.
Yo, one of my favorite remixes of all time is the Shut 'Em Down remix. I think Pete Rock. I think that's one of the greatest beats ever.
Yeah.
I love that song so much. The original is incredible. Do you remember hearing that for the first time? Like, because you guys already had a big record, but it took I feel like the Pete Rock version took a
little further.
Yeah.
Well, this is the difference in Kev. L.A. and New York are two different places.
Right.
And everything in between was different. Mm-hmm. They wanted that original don't, because we performed that.